Hey guys, I am John Carrick, the author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox, two amazing science fiction fantasy novels for you on Amazon.com, Smashwords.com, or right here on YouTube if you want to listen to them as audiobooks for free. Today we are doing part 3 of Conan the Barbarian Red Nails by Barry Smith and written by Roy Thomas, adapted by Roy Thomas from an original work, the last original work by Robert E. Howard, who created Conan. And this is his last story. So just catching you guys up, Conan and Valeria have found a walled city. First they fought this dragon, who's really like a stegosaurus. They killed him with these poison apples that Conan stabbed into his mouth. Now, this dragon ate their horses, so they're trapped out in the middle of nowhere, and they find this crimson city abandoned out on a plain, and it is inhabited by two warring factions who are involved in a feud over an immortal princess, the Zoltli and the Toltecs. They have Aztec names, they're in Africa, and it's a small world. So this is the end of the first story where Valeria smashes this skull, and this is how Valeria and Conan earn their rep amongst these two tribes, and they become sort of heroes for hire, as it were. Conan, in this one, Conan kills a dragon right here down at the bottom of the page. He kills another dragon that's tormenting the people inside the city. And again, their stature goes up, their reputation goes up. But this doesn't keep the king of this group that they're with from trying to kidnap Valeria to rape her. And it certainly doesn't keep the princess of the group that they're with. Oh, first Conan and Valeria kill a whole bunch more people. But let me get to where we are. The king has kidnapped Valeria, right down here. He kidnaps Valeria, makes her unconscious. Then the queen, Conan, they send Conan out to the other group. And if the other group doesn't kill him, his own soldiers are supposed to. So Conan has been betrayed. Conan and Valeria have been separated. This is the end of yesterday's, the second chapter. And after Conan and his comrades kill the people in the Zoltli group, these Toltecs that he's with try and kill him. Meanwhile, the princess gets killed. This is a lot going on. Olmec, the king who has kidnapped the chief, who has kidnapped Valeria, gets knocked out by his priestess, his princess, his queen, who is like an Elizabeth Bathory character. Elizabeth Bathory meets Helen of Troy, in that she has to murder young women to keep her youthful appearance, and both of these groups have had this massive war going back and forth over her. It's a lot going on. And it's also Fistful of Dollars. I forgot to mention that yesterday too. Fistful of Dollars, which is like Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo, in that Conan and Valeria have stumbled into a feud between these two tribes. It's not a siege like Troy, it's a feud, right? So it's much more like Last Man Standing or Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo, where Conan, as the mercenary, wanders into a war between these two groups. They happen to be fighting over a girl instead of whatever they were fighting over in Yojimbo. It was guns in Fistful of Dollars. Guns and then it was alcohol in Last Man Standing, the Bruce Willis version. That was done during Prohibition. There's always something to fight over, even if it's just a woman. But so here, Conan returns. Conan knows that he's been betrayed. He finds Olmec strapped to a torture chamber device where every time he moves, this giant mace inches closer to his head. And if he keeps moving, it's going to crush his skull. And so Conan sets him free on the condition that he help him find Valeria and set her free. Olmec says he knows a secret route into the the throne room where they're going to do the sacrifice to give Valeria's youth to the priestess, the queen. But at the last moment, as they're heading down the stairs, Olmec punches Conan, and they end up rolling down the stairs together and smashing through the door. Conan, in the writing it says that Conan chokes Olmec to death on the way down the stairs. It would be a lot easier to say that he breaks his neck, but either way, Olmec's dead. And again, I am enjoying the cover. You guys aren't getting to see it as I hold the pages up for you. So you should get to feast your eyes on the two versions of the cover. We also get a poem at the end of this, one of Robert E. Howard's poems about Samaria. So here, Conan has broken into the throne room and gets trapped by a bear trap that bites around his ankle. Which in most cases in the feudal age, that's death. That's going to get infected. You're done. You're not going to recover from that, or you're going to limp forever. At any rate, as this is going on, so now Conan is incapable of rescuing Valeria. This is the one mistake in the writing that I say would, it's interesting. Is it a mistake in that Robert E. Howard didn't give Valeria's rescue to Conan? I don't know. It's hard to say it's a mistake. It's sort of like everyone's karma. So the old guy of the Zotli, the original skull being, who was the priestess's, the queen's first husband or whatever, he arrives and he has this special power rod, this electric power rod that can shoot electric bolts as long as it's got metal on the other side of its victim. So he has to position himself to where it's a straight line between his rod and a piece of metal. And then if he fires it and someone is between that rod and the piece of metal, they will get blasted and killed immediately. So he comes in and starts killing people, as you do if you're a bad guy. I hope this is centered. I've noticed a lot of these aren't centered. It's really unprofessional. But these are free, so. And I'm indulging myself because I take time to tell you about my stories. I wrote my 101st chapter last night, 96,000 words even, which is very strange. Since I changed the title, it should have been a little bit different. But here, so this is more of Conan trying to stay out of the line of fire. And also this guy is refusing to shoot the queen for some reason. He's shooting everybody else except her. Conan is trying to stay out of the line of fire, but there's not a lot he can do because he's bolted to the ground. The queen actually lets Conan go on the caveat that he killed this guy. And Conan says, we're going to have to give me your knife. She has to use the knife to release the bear trap. And Conan takes the knife and creeps closer and closer for the one trope. We haven't seen any flashbacks in this chapter. And Conan certainly hasn't, well, he's captured in that the bear trap has caught his leg, so he is captured. It's not jail. It's not exactly the same thing as jail, but he's absolutely captured. And he creeps closer and closer, as close as he can get, until he finally throws the knife and buries it in this guy's chest, killing him. Now, they still have the princess to deal with, but Valeria has slipped her bonds and sneaks up behind the princess, queen, priestess, empress, Elizabeth Bathory character, and gets her revenge with a sword through the back. And there are a lot of these pages where you can tell that Barry Smith did it on a smaller scale. So this is the end. That's the last panel, last page, and pinup. And check this out. I think this is why they didn't do it real public, like regular comic book. Because there's a lot of these where you can tell it was inked really small. The inks are very... Here, check out how... I think this was drawn rather small, and then this might be printed 1-to-1, for all I know. I think this is 1-to-1. Look at how thick the ink lines are on Conan's lats. And then on Olmec's face, where his head is turned wrong, his neck is broken. And then at the bottom panel, look at the background. The inks are so thick that I suspect that this was drawn at half the size of normal comic book pages. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe Barry Smith was trying something different. It's none of my business. But it is Barry Smith and it is Conan. And there is a poem. It's the Samaria poem. It's in a lot of stuff. What is this? Oh yeah, this is in memory of Robert E. Howard. And then we get the, it's called, I think it's just called Samaria. And I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this, where they put the text intermixed with the pictures. I've always thought this was a cop-out. Why not put the text between the panels? Yeah, I know, you want the art to fill the page. If art existed without story and was enough, no one would do comics, everyone would just print portfolio books. The story matters. The words matter, and when they're done right and they go with the images correctly, it's a sum greater than the whole. When the words are bad, it may as well be child's drawing. Would anyone buy child's drawing? That's what it feels like when the words are bad. So that's my humble opinion. And this is our comic. It's here in the description. Ashley Fox, Last Valkyrie. Ashley Fox, Ninja Babysitter, issue number 6, The Last Valkyrie, in a 6-issue series where 1 through 5 have never been drawn. But it's the ending that matters, right? So like I said, wrote my 102nd chapter on my 3rd novel last night, so I'm pretty proud of that. This today's conflict card, deck 2, is the Ace, the 2 of Spades, the Ace of the 2 of Spades, Ace of Nothing, 2 of Spades. And this is, what 3 skills do you think are necessary for children today? And what additional 3 skills do you think are necessary for children in the end of the world? I like soap because it gives you explosives. But what do you need to know? I would say there's so many things. Small engine repair is good. That'd be great to learn. Anything with medicine, anything physical fitness, anything agriculture, growing food. There's too many to list. You need to know everything. You need to learn as much of everything as you can hold in your head. And then when you've got that down, go learn something new, and go learn something new, and go learn something new. I would say some things are maybe a little bit indulgent. I don't think kids need to know C++ for the end of the world. I mean, it's simple, right? It would probably be good to know how to run a farm. It would probably be good to know how to collect rainwater. It would probably be good to know how to purify rainwater. These are the sort of things you should know. It'd be great to know how to cook. Teach kids how to cook. And then teach them how to grow things, you know? You should always be learning things. You should never stop learning things. The important thing about this isn't what should children learn, it's what should you be learning. What are you learning right now? I am learning all kinds of things. Right now I'm focused on panel arrangement in comics. Probably not necessary for the end of the world, but I did my chest workout for today, so, you know, you gotta balance things. Anyhow, all right, tomorrow, I don't know what comic we're gonna do. Something, maybe Trencher, maybe Secret number 3. We'll see. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Special thanks to Michael Sarian, unslaved.com. All right.